Yo everybody, and welcome to another video. And you might suspect this is not gonna be a gameplay video. This is gonna talk me about my collection and like 11 months of collecting data about my collection. And first of all, how do we collect data? That's with the Stormbound kitty, and what we do is on a mobile phone and then put that in our spreadsheet. So this is gonna be it for this video. So what have I been doing? Well, basically for the last 11 months I've been collecting data, the progress, and actually trying to figure out how much I grow, how much my total value in fusion stones is increasing, the percentage, the average card level, and what I also found interesting, how much is my account worth in rubies, in fusion stones, and in coins. It's not something you can find in collection stats on Stormbound Kitty, but this is a really helpful tool to actually keep progress in. And this is what I currently have at this time. We're not gonna go into details here. I just want to show everybody who hasn't been using Stormbound Kitty to see their progress, how this can look like. So here you see rarity stones. Mostly I use all these statistics. How many fusion stones you need, how many coins it will cost, the percentage of completion, and how many copies you still need. So every month I will just take these numbers, put them in my spreadsheet, and crank out the numbers. And well, there is a lot of things you can see here apparently. And how do you get these stats? Well, that's something also good to know. Is within your content you have card collection, and here you can just basically keep track digitally in Stormbound Kitty. It saves in your cache what your progress is. Also at the end of the month I always export my collection, save that in my Google Drive, and just continue on. And that's how progress is made. So this is, I started with the more enjoyable looking outright of talking about collection stats. Let's dive into the number game. Before we go deep diving in this nerdy shit, let's look at three graphs I just made. Normally I just enjoy looking at the numbers a bit better, but it's nice, interesting for video sake to have it some on the timeline. So this is the 11th month of 2020 till now basically. And this is my total value percentage, how much is complete. So like almost a year ago I started at 97%, and then it slowly increased, and Shipyard basically cranked up their releases, cranked up their new cards, and I didn't spend a lot of resources to obtaining them. And here you can see that it's basically with every new card release or multiple card releases. Like for instance, these might be like 2 multiple card releases, here's just 1. And depending on how much I played, it might just increase when there wasn't just only a common card, for example. So slowly we are climbing up, but as you can see, 11 months later, I haven't accumulated a lot of progress in my deck collection. Like I started at 97%, but basically just dropped to 96.6 or something. So that's a funny thing to know. But obviously I haven't been doing nothing. I have made a lot of progression during like trying to somewhat break even with the percentage of deck completeness, but have seen a lot of growth in my total coins net worth. So how do we calculate the total coins net worth? That's basically all the cards I've upgraded. Like a fully upgraded card costs 1450 coins. So we take that into account, and we do that for all the cards we have. We also look at how many coins do I have in my bank. So we take that number, then we got the duplicates. For people who don't know, if you have level 5 card, you can exchange excess copies to coins. In the past it was fusion stones, that was really sick, but now it's just coins. But that's also worth a lot if you have enough duplicates. So those are the main factors, and then we have a really small percentage, and that's the avatars. For example, if you buy a lot of all the coin avatars, I don't know, maybe they are like 15 or something, that can be worth of 15,000 coins. So when I started, I'm not really sure if this is the correct number or something. Like, I wasn't really tracking that well. So I will just look at here, and you can just see I've like all the increments are pretty much same. Like the last couple of months I've played a little bit more and just switched up a little bit. Also the coins net worth can increase a little bit more, but like how much it increases or even decreases completely, you don't have to look at this as only coins, because you can convert coins to rubies and you can convert coins to fusion stones as well. So having a growth doesn't necessarily mean that you will get a lot of stuff. So yeah, how much are these increments? Like one jump, it's 25,000. So in like 2 months, I make a jump from 25,000. So on average like 12,500 coins increase every month of playing. So that's pretty interesting. So everybody who wants to calculate can just calculate everything's back and stuff. But that's for so far these numbers. And this one I really liked. Is maybe one of the more interesting ones, at least visual. This is how far my completion rate per rarity, like the commons, rare, epic and legendary. So it's funny to note that I started out with legendaries the most maxed, and then here most likely Temple of Space was released, and here we got the release of Temple of Time. So it took me a long time to actually get a copy, and then once I get the copy I will just use a lot of fusion stones, and then you can see an increase in the curve. And now basically epics, and then we have like Sparkly Kittens. Has been not officially released, but it's already in the card collection from Stormbound Kitty. So that's where this drop comes off. So here you can just see it's all floating between 98.8 and 96%. So these are the fancy graphs. So now for the real people who enjoy stuff, let's look at what's going on here. So here I just put in all the numbers, basically everything that is written in bold. Might be a little bit too difficult to see from the video, but everything that's bold, that is something I put manually in. And then things with that isn't bold is calculated by a formula. Nothing fancy here. So like the fusion stones, we see here an increase. And yeah, basically for rubies and coins as well. So looking at the rubies, I've been saving up a lot of rubies in the last year. Like I'm not spending them on mythic tomes anymore. So like I'm not maybe increasing in worth of percentage, but as you might see, like there's a lot of increase in wealth. The exchange commons also clearly increased, like the commons from like almost a year ago to now it's been doubled, and it basically goes for almost every rarity I have. And if you can see also like the total of coins, so I'm currently around 120,000 coins and 56,000 coins. Well, I know I currently am in this month already reached 60,000 in coins, so I'm almost closing to hit 200,000 coins worth on savings. Something to note is that I don't spend my exchange, since, well, in the past it was worth a ruby, or fusion stones I mean, and then it was nerfed to only be worth coins. So it's interesting to see that it might change up as well. So if you don't need your coins, and that's mostly people with who are already really far into their card collection, maybe it's just better to save them up a little bit and then wait for it that it might be worth more. But it's really interesting. That's what I mainly want to show here, is all these steps I'm making. So as you can see how much you can make as on a monthly basis. Like, I'm not always coin capping. I use premium pass. I have been buying the card books as well in this time period, like the new releases from 10 euros and the premium pass from 8 euros as well. And I've been playing every day, doing all my quests, and not hitting coin cap every day, but I hit the coin cap often enough, and do also the Brawl with a good success rate most often. So that's also profitable, especially in the later months. So here you can just see the exchange, like how much it grows by just playing. But you also need to keep in mind that my collection is really far, so if your collection is like 70%, the exchange diff is obviously way lower because you do not get a lot of dupes. But well, be happy, because getting dupes is just basically just waste of worth. You would rather have a new card copy, which is basically just fusion stones, and that's the most the thing you want to do the most. That's also one of the reasons I have not maxed everything out, because getting fusion stones, it's not that easy. So here I'm just accumulating all my coins worth, and then you see like it really depends. Like this month it's only 200 or 2000, but I have made a lot more rubies. And here I just made a lot of everything, but not as much rubies. And then you see you get a lot of more coins, depending on how much you play. And even here, I even make minus fusion stones. But keep in mind that I also upgrade cards to level 4. So yeah, these are the thingies. And well, this is just back calculating. Like here I have the numbers of the exchange, how much it's worth, and this is the amounts of copies that there actually are. So there's like a whole collection of duplicates. It's insane. So here where you can see the numbers that we already saw in the card collection from Stormbound, like the total value of fusion stones and your total value in percentage and the average cards level. So the funny thing is I'm not really increasing that much, or I'm actually decreasing, but my average card level is increasing. So that's just the quantity of the cards is increasing, and everything is level 4 or level 5. So that's why this is still on the rise. And this is basically every commons and the rares and the epics, just dissected as well in numbers. And then I calculate how many commons I have lower and total commons in the game. Yeah, these numbers aren't that interesting. You just hold the screen and see the progress. You can see at least how much on a monthly basis, like how many copy do you actually receive. So like for example, for the rares, it's like this month I just got 7, and then I got 11, and then 13, and then 7 again. Well, obviously here we have new releases of cards, which is why it increased again. So it's hard to keep track. Like I have no sophisticated numbers, so I don't really care that much from that. But then it just decreases again with -6. Well, this was a really good month basically, and then with just -13 again. Obviously, how much copies you need, the easier it's to get them. And also depends how much Brawl you play and if you get lucky with your season chest. So then we got the legendaries as well. I'm not going over it, it's just too much to talk, and I don't want to keep everybody up for 40 minutes or whatever. So how far are we then? Then the total coins for upgrade. So this is just what I calculated. So every card is on level 4, so if I need to go for level 4 to level 5, then it's 1000 gold. And for now, for example, Sparkly Kittens, it's non-accessible, so that's 1000 plus 450 coins. That's why this number is 16,450 coins as well, which I need to fully max the amount of coins I fully need to max. And this is the total fusion cost. Total cost fusion stones for upgrading to 100%. So I basically need 2,157 fusion stones, and there's like 16 cards of them. So I just look at all these numbers, how much I need. And as you might remember, my fusion stones is currently 1,748. So out of pocket exchange, I cannot do it. So if I really want to do and go for 100%, I have to spend my rubies and coins on either packs, or I need to spend them on Brawl. For example, if you go for the ultimate Brawl, like the level 5 max cards, you can get for around 18,000 coins, 200 fusion stones. So just calculate it. Like if this the total coins is this, I can do that 10 times, plus minus or something. If it actually costs 18,000 coins, I don't remember correctly. I have somewhere a sheet, but also on Stormbound Kitty you can look those numbers up very easily. So that's like 2,000 fusion stones if I convert my coins, and a lot of time, which that's one of the big reasons I'm not doing it, to fusion stones. But then it becomes a bit more easy to get 100% collection. So this is the small thing I was talking about. It's not that much, but it's something, right? The amount of avatars we have and how much I bought, and because every like ruby avatar is like 200 or something, if I remember correctly, and the coins are 1000. And then we got the ruby deck slots, like 25 for the cheapest, 50 for the middle, and 100 rubies for the max. Well, I've spent them both, obviously, so that's why I also put them here. But this is just a small buff for my total net worth. So now we go to put all these numbers in, and then we see that like almost a year ago my collection was around 255, but it's might be skewed, right? So it most likely somewhere around 300,000 coins, and from that point forward it's just increasing. Like the net worth coins in div, we see like 8,500, 13,000, 9,000, 16,000. So it depends a bit on how much I play, how much I spend on brawls, because playing Brawl is quite expensive. But Brawl, you receive fusion stones, card copies, and etc, etc. So that's how this increased, and the same goes for the rubies. Like, wasn't really not much need anymore to buy mythic tomes or any other tome, for that example. So that's why, well, they are just climbing and climbing. And since I do not need to spend my rubies also to coin conversion to play into the Brawl, just keeping up. But I'm happy that they have now new books. So most likely I will go for the Book of Structures, or the Book of Architects, or whatever it's called. And then from that point forward, I will increase my percentage of collection by a lot, without wasting a lot of rubies on it, because the drop chance of getting one of the new temples, like the Temple of Time, Temple Space, Focus, and the Hearth, and the Glacier Palace, like it's almost like 40% or 35% to hit one of those cards when I buy one of those books. So that's a lot of guarantee for fusion stones. And here we see the total fusion stones net worth, and that's also but it doesn't increase that much. Obviously, how farther you go along, there is like a limit how much your fusion stones net worth is. I haven't calculated here, might be good to see how far it goes. But for example, if this is 97%, we need to have like 3% additional. Oh, we already knew it, right? Like 2,100. So the total fusion stones net worth you can have in this game It's somewhere around 66,800 at the moment of September. So yeah, that's pretty close. But since you are getting closer and closer, you do not receive a lot of copies that will benefit your progression, since everything will be dupes and dupes and more dupes. And here I have some of the numbers, how much it increases. Like for 3%, 2.5%, 4%, 2%, 3%, 4%. So it's pretty stable. And the same goes for the rubies. And the rubies increase. Obviously the increase here a lot, but then as it increases more over time and the quantity is also increases, I guess it will be, at one point it will be a line downwards. And the same goes for fused stones, unless I spend a lot of my resources on it. And well, lastly but not least, this is where I try to track out which things I bought. So I bought here the card packs, the 10 euro things for the Temple Folks, Temple of Harv, basically bought them all. And then at one point also the premium passes. And well, here I just stopped tracking it. I just don't care enough to go into so much detail. Like, I just want to have the basics, and that's fine. So that's just end up on this thing or whatever. So that's gonna wrap this up for this video. Hope you enjoyed what you saw and find it interesting, and maybe also inspires you to keep track and see some progress. And as always, if you are any questions, you want more details about something you're looking at here, or you have some good other things I can start keeping track of, which might be interesting, then I'm also very happy to hear what you are suggesting. And I think this is gonna be it for this Will's video. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you get also inspired to keep track and just see what progress you are making. And then whatever, just enjoy, right? Anyways, this is gonna be it. If you like it, then feel free to like, share your comments and your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you aren't doing it, then you can always follow my channel and subscribe and whatever, get more pinks or not pinks, you can disable the bell, whatever, blah blah blah. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheerios.